moving to New York City. Hello guys, good morning. It is Monday and it is finally starting to feel like fall in New York. I just took a look outside and the leaves are finally changing color. So I am so excited to just get into a cozy fall routine and slow down a little bit, especially because the summer was really busy. I always feel like in the summer, I always have a lot of social plans, but once the weather gets colder, my brain kind of switches and I just feel like it's time to lock in. And so I love going to the gym in the colder months. I'm excited to take you guys along with me for a week in my life, just establishing a fall routine, hopefully getting into more regular rhythms of life and just slowing down a little bit. But I just logged on to work, so I'm gonna work from home today and keep it chill. Hello guys, I made it to Central Park and it is the perfect fall day. It is sunny and a little chilly, but not too chilly. And the leaves actually started turning in Central Park, if you guys can see. So it's so pretty. There's like hues of yellow, but honestly, it is these moments that make me so grateful to live in New York City and be able to walk around in Central Park after work just casually. And I've been living here for a little over a year now, but I still don't get sick of this. Hello guys, I am posted up on a rock at Central Park as one does, but I thought I would share with you guys my thoughts on New York because I just passed a little bit over a year of living in New York City and I want to give you guys just my honest thoughts, like do I regret moving to New York City, what it's like living here, all that jazz. So let's just get into it. As you guys know, New York City is a city that a lot of people want to move to or plan to move to just because of the amount of opportunities that it has. And after living here for over a year, I can confirm that these opportunities do exist, and that is one of the reasons I love living here. There are just so many diverse food options, things to do, also a lot of cool opportunities to network and just meet new people. I will say one caveat to these opportunities is that they are many, but they are also competitive just because of the sheer amount of people in New York. So for example, if you want to try a new food place, there will most definitely be like at least an hour to 2 hour line to try it. I'm also not going to sugarcoat the cost of living here. It is really expensive, and I think just the extreme pressurizing environment of it's competitive and expensive to live here, I think it actually forces people to better themselves or seek out better opportunities, just from what I've noticed from people around me and also myself. So I will say, even though New York is a very fast-paced, high pressure environment, it also really forces you to grow and get out of your comfort zone. And I think going back to just the overall dynamic of New York, it is kind of a paradox of things are accessible and yet not accessible at the same time. For example, public transit, walkability are amazing. You can get basically anywhere and you don't need a car at all, unlike most cities. But it's also really hard to get groceries if you don't have a car because you have to carry it home. I also want to cover what it's like making friends here and and just friendship dynamics in general. Generally, I haven't found it hard to make new friends. I think people here are really open-minded, love meeting new people, they love putting themselves out there. But I will say it's harder to deepen friendships here. I think it takes longer just because people are super busy here, and so you might have to plan a hangout like a month or two in advance to see them, and so it just kind of draws out the length of how long it takes to get to know someone, which is why I think it's really important to find like a third space or community to regularly see people and build friendships that way. And what I've also noticed in my friendships is that in New York, I have a lot of different friends from different life stages out here. So I have my high school friends, college friends, other friends, and because of that, I think my friendships are a lot more fragmented where I'll hang out with different groups of people. Whereas when I lived in Seattle, I had like one primary big friend group and we would do everything together. And for some reason, even though it's more accessible to see them via public transit or walkability wise, it's still harder to see someone because of just how busy people are. Do I regret my decision moving to New York City? I 100% do not. I love it here and I'm really grateful every day to be living here, even though sometimes I do get tired of the overstimulation and noise and I need to leave the city sometimes. But I do recognize I'm so privileged to be able to live here. And I think for me personally, it's also been a year of a lot of growth. Where I was a year ago is definitely not where I am now, just in a lot of aspects in my life. And I was also looking at my prayer journal, and it is crazy because all the prayers that I had in the beginning of the year when I first moved here, God answered almost every single one of them. So I'm just so thankful. I also wanted to thank you guys for joining me on this journey of me living my New York City era. Right guys, this is the spread. We got eggplant beef stir fry, and then we also got a new TV finally for our living room. So we just turned it this way so we can watch it while we're eating. Minami was never in there, but he just let her on. I got a package in the mail, so I wanted to unbox it with you guys, but I ended up ordering a portable kind of desk lamp for my room because I just need more lighting. I've been going for kind of a mid-century modern aesthetic in my room, so I thought this would be perfect. Oh my gosh, guys, it is so cute! Oh my gosh, wait, it's actually a perfect size. I was kind of worried it would be too big, but this is literally what I was imagining. But it's just this little mushroom shape, and then it comes with a charger. So if you just tap the top, it changes color, which is so cool. I am about to study for my quiz on Wednesday because I have plans tomorrow night, but I have a quiz for my AI class. So I'm just gonna go through my lecture notes and make sure I understand everything. I hate to say it, but it is puffer season. I brought out my puffer today because it's so chilly. Maybe this is not a work hack, that's a work hack for me, but I found that I have so many tabs when I start my workday, so I just decided to close all my tabs at the end of the workday and just reopen the ones that I need at the start of the next day, just because it gets a lot and then I'll end up reopening the same documents and then have multiple tabs of them. So that's just my little hack of the day. guys, I am on my way to campus and I'm not gonna lie, I feel pretty nervous about this test that I have. It's like no notes, so I feel a little bit nervous because I feel like I just crammed. I feel like objectively, if I were to give myself a rating on how I did, I feel like I did like a solid B or C. And honestly, I know if I had studied harder, I probably would have gotten the material. And I think that's just one of the things I learned about being in part-time business school is you can't ace everything. Like your time is split between so many different things, so you can't really like overachieve. Hello guys, I am at the gym and I mentioned before, but I feel like when it gets colder, my brain just locks in and I'm like on my gym grind. So it feels really good to be back just working out consistently, going to the gym. And I'll always usually start with cardio, so I'll do a quick run and then focus on either my arms, legs, and I do abs as well, like every time. Alright guys, I just showered after coming back from the gym and it was nice because the gym was also surprisingly empty, and I just feel like that's the best feeling when you walk in and you can freely work out without anyone else being there. I'm about to put on a face mask. This is one from MediHeal that my parents actually brought back from Korea, and my skin has been so dry. It's usually a little bit more on the dry side because I use tretinoin as an acne treatment, but because the weather has been getting colder, my skin has been significantly getting drier. I've been applying a face mask, or trying to at least, every night, but I'm just excited to relax the rest of the night. And honestly, I feel like the perk of it being cold outside is it's such a vibe when you're staying inside in your PJs, like curled up on your couch. But honestly, even though I'm an extrovert, I low-key love when my social plans get like canceled or pushed out and I have like a reason to stay in. I am about to journal and I've actually been really consistent with journaling this year, and I'm proud of myself because that was one of my New Year's resolutions last year, which was to journal more regularly, especially with keeping track of prayers and doing a prayer journal. And I'm honestly really glad that I've been consistent this year because it's been cool to just look back at the beginning of this year and see how much has changed even within the span of a year or a couple months. And one thing that I'm really grateful for is I feel like the things that I had been worried or anxious about in the beginning of this year, I feel a lot of peace in now and freedom. And I think that really is the power of prayer, because when you pray, you remember who you're praying to. And just the act of constant surrender really shapes your mind and heart. And so even if some of those things are still unanswered prayers, I think my perspective has shifted a lot from being expectant of those things that I'm praying for, or being expectant of the way I think God is going to answer those prayers, to shifting to just being expectant of God, period, because he will do big things. And so we just need to show up with faith. So I'm just gonna end my night with journaling and that will be it. Good morning, guys. It is Saturday and I'm currently getting ready for the day, but I have a pretty packed day today. This semester I have class on Saturday mornings, but thankfully it's remote, so I usually have class from 10 to 12, and then I'm grabbing lunch with some ex-coworkers from my old team, which will be really fun. I worked on the same team as them for almost 2 years, so we got really close at that time, and they're both around my age, but one of them moved to New York recently and then the other one is visiting. And then right after, I'm actually meeting up with another friend who I actually met at a tech event. So we're going to a cafe in Chinatown, I believe. And then for dinner, I'm meeting up with some girls from my church. We were all in the same kind of discipleship program over the summer. And so I'm just really excited to catch up with them. We're gonna get hot pot. So yeah, it's gonna be a very fun and packed social day.